Hello, my name is Cameron Easton. Welcome to my Unit 4, 5 and 6 evaluation for Amy and Lou. So, to start off with, when I came to thinking of my idea, this was probably the worst part of the unit for me because I have basically the worst thing that I did this unit was either think of ideas that were really good, but practically speaking that I couldn't get done in time, or I just couldn't do with the resources I've got, or I just thought of ideas which realistically I couldn't get done within a certain time frame, blah 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 blah. So the worst thing, it was really hard to actually try and think of an idea that would work in a certain time frame and it'd be still something I'm going to be really happy with. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. So eventually, I thought of first of all, with the idea that I actually started production with, it was a machinima short film called Alcor, or Project Alcor, and I thought of a really good story for it. I made a storyboard for it. I even started filming a lot of it. I mean, got some action sequences done as well. But then in the end, I basically came to the conclusion I'm not going to be able to get this done the way that I'm going to like it, you know. Because we had to create our own sound design for this unit as well, and I knew that if we had to create our own sound design and create our own music, this is the worst bit, create our own music, this film would not be how I like it. And I was like, no, I'm going to save this project I've been working on now for something else, which was silly of me, but you know, that's what I did. So then I was like, right, I need to think of something else. Think of a new idea. A new idea came to mind, and I was like, nah, that ain't going to work. And then, obviously, this is taking a chunk out now. I mean, it came to the conclusion that my first film, it wasn't going to work. You know, for what I was doing, it wouldn't work. Because a machinima, you can't record audio separately. You can only add audio to it, or take it away completely. But, that's what I meant to say, yeah. But, yeah. So I thought of another idea for a film. That one, I knew it wouldn't work. And then I couldn't think of another film. I literally was stuck, and I turned around to my marching band leader, Adam, who's a good friend of mine. I was just saying, I went, mate, I'm worried. Honestly, I am. Like, I can usually think of good ideas and stuff, but for this unit, I can't think of anything that's going to work. I was really, really worried, you know. And we're close now to, like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of the time that we had to make the films, to make the projects, it had gone. So I was really worried, and I spoke to him, and I said, look, what do I do? And then he thought, why don't you do something with us, the band? Why don't you do something with us? So I was like, okay, right. Because he's always been on about for a while, like, you know, let's do something. So eventually he was thinking, we kind of came to the conclusion, why don't we make a film to do something to do with progression, something like that. And it basically, at the start of the film, would show it would basically show how the band is like in practice, how chaotic it is, how there's no order, you know, everyone's running around hectic, trying to prepare for things. But then, at the end, it shows the band actually on a gig. They're all stood in a straight line, they're all in formation, they're all playing exactly how they should be. And it basically show, you know, the transition. So I was like, you know what, that is actually a really, really good idea, because at the end of the day, we had a few gigs coming up as well where I could use to record. So basically, I went to practice, took a camera, recorded loads of stuff there. Then they had a gig a few days later, actually at the college, at the Conisky Footy Grounds. So I recorded a fair bit there, which was their gig. All the filming was done. That was great. Obviously now we're really close to the deadline, and because of all the trouble I had in the past, previously, it was like, oh, great. So, yeah, eventually I got the film completed, but I had to rush it, and that... See, the thing is, I'm quite a bit of a perfectionist with my work, and because I had to rush through it and obviously make sure that it was all done and ready, like, you know... I think the shots and everything that I filmed are fine, but if I could redo this whole film again, I would basically apply more time into the editing. I definitely just, you know, redo the structure of it. I'm gonna be honest. This is probably the worst unit I've done. I'm not happy with my piece at all, in any way. The Adams asked me if he can see it. I've said no. I don't want to show him. I've said if I do show him, I'll show him in person, because I don't want to send him it. I personally am not happy with the work. I believe I could have done a lot better. I know I could have done a lot better if I had more time. And yes, it's my fault that I didn't have enough time because of my own issues with idea generation and obviously the setback of the original film I was doing as well. Which is annoying because the original film, I actually got quite a bit done for it, you know, quite a bit of filming, and the shots we got they look great, you know. My cousins helped me out; they came over and helped shoot like the fight choreography scenes, the fight scenes, you know, it's more like a shootout kind of thing. But yeah, but in the end, I mean, I in this film that I've actually submitted, I've got a few good shots in there, and I've like. But basically, I still kept to the idea of it being about the preparation side of things. But it's more like a kind of, well, on Thursdays we go to the band and then we do this, then we do that. It's more like I'm kind of talking to a diary entry kind of thing. It's like, yeah, but I think if I was going to definitely redo it in the future, I'd make it so there's like the narration in it would be more of like a monologue rather than me saying what's going on, you know what I mean, and what we do, like a diary entry kind of thing, because it's just, yeah, I definitely, basically if I was going to improve it, I'd add way more structure, way more time into it, and just, yeah, make it exactly how I like it. And yeah, to be fair, I watched over the film and it's not as bad as I thought it would have come out as, but I am still not happy with it. Basically what I've learned from probably this unit is I need to basically think about, if I've got a certain time frame to make a film, I need to think of ideas and then really think through whether they're actually going to be practical enough to do them within that time frame, whether I'm going to have the right amount of people, the right resources and stuff like that. Because when I first thought of the machinima, I was like, yeah, I can do this, you know. We got some of the scenes done and I got 2 out of 3 of the action scenes done with my cousins, but I needed that third one for it to work. And basically, it just came down to time and just stuff like that. And I knew that with the audio part, I'd struggle with the machinima, so it was like, well, I won't be happy with it, put it that way, if I did that. So I was like, no. So I need to think of ideas when it comes to the final major project. Ideas that I know I can practically get done within a certain amount of time, and I have to make sure I've got the right time, resources, and people, you know. But yeah, overall the unit, I struggled with it, you know. It was the idea generation which was the worst part for me, and then obviously once I had the idea in the film, getting it done within a certain time. So yeah, obviously I think the things that I need to improve on are idea, basically thinking of ideas like I just said, and obviously time management. They're the 2 things that I need to really, like, you know, focus on next time. And I think that's what I can take from this to help with my final major project. It was pretty useful though in this unit, learning about how like the audio and the video things kind of work, because obviously through the lessons we had to create our own music for the films. Now we used GarageBand to do it, which was interesting because I've only used GarageBand once on an iPad in high school, but I did create like two tracks which they're actually all right, but for the actual film that I was doing in the end, I actually didn't like how the music fit. It didn't fit with it, in my opinion. But it would have been alright for something else, maybe. But you know, nah. But yeah. So basically, because of what happened with the first film, because I was doing the first film for a while, once I finally got that idea, I created a lot of theory for it. So that's why some of the theory that I've submitted for this unit, it doesn't go with the film I've already made. So like when I was doing the mood boards and storyboards and stuff, that all kind of went, I did a lot of that for my original film, but then, because that one didn't pan out, I've still got the theory for that film, but obviously because that film didn't pan out, you know, it's not here, but, yeah, so it's kind of annoying because obviously a lot of the theory that I have done doesn't go towards the film that I've currently got, which is annoying. So yeah, I think out of all the units I've ever done, this has probably been the one that I've least enjoyed due to obviously my own faults. But yeah, it's annoying, but you know, it is what it is, and I think I've learnt a lot from this unit, you know, and once this is out of the way and the final major project comes, I'm gonna think a bit more straight about how I want do it and what I want to do for it, you know. So yeah, that is pretty much that for this unit. Wasn't a bad unit, you know. I for the actual for what the unit was about, it was really cool, you know. There was a lot that could be done. I just wish that I could go back and do it all again. I really do, because it has really got me down this term about this unit. But you know, it is what it is. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching my evaluation for units 4, 5, and 6, the video and audio unit for Lou and Amy. My name is Cameron, and goodbye.